Alright guys, welcome to the channel. This is the first video of the actual channel that I'm actually going to do, and it's going to cover electrical because that's how I started in school. Was my first class was all about electrical, guys. That's like the main basis anymore of anything. So in front of me you'll see the tools here from Snap-on. They are the Verdict D7, and these are more professional. I would not tell you to go and get these just for your home shop. If you have like a major electrical issue that you are needing to figure out, you probably just want to take it to a main shop or a professional grade shop to get this done. Now I would tell you guys, for your home, I would probably get these that are over here to my side. The first one is a coil tester, or it's a coil tester. And it will detect, when your engine is running, it will detect if your coil is firing. And we do that with diagnostics to see if your injector is firing or your coil is firing, depending on a misfire code. And that's why we have this. The next one is a short finder. I would recommend this if you're doing anything with audio and electrical lighting, aftermarket lighting, underglows, and it's having issues of turning on, and you think you might have a short somewhere. That'd be a good one to get. And these are fairly inexpensive. I think they're like 30 bucks at the most. Next, in my shop, since we do a lot of, or at my home garage, and I do a lot of stuff with LS as well. And this right here is a Noid light test, and it will test injectors. These are fairly inexpensive, so if you guys are hot rodding and you want to do some LS stuff and you want to know how to diagnose some things, a Noid light test would be good to keep in your toolbox. That way you know if your injector is getting fire or not. Next is just your standard voltmeter. I think everybody should have one of these, just at home, just for anything in automotive. You can test continuity test with this and make sure trace down wires. If you're looking for a wire where it starts here and it's going to somewhere else, just probe it and figure out where it's going to. And this will also do your voltage drop, which means you just look for voltage anywhere, key on, key off voltage, and also alternating current. All you gotta do is turn the dial to the volt where it's wavy, and that means alternating current. That's what that means. Good tool to have in your toolbox. This right here is kind of up to you. I do have one. That way I can compare overnight whether the vehicle is doing a draw on its own or if the battery's just not holding the charge anymore. Let's say you come out and the battery's dead, whatever, and you go to charge it up, you go put it back in, and you have the wires all hooked up, you let it sit overnight, and come out the next day and it's dead again, okay? One of two things. Either the vehicle has a voltage draw, a big one, or your battery is just not holding the charge anymore, okay? So what I do is I just pull the battery out of the vehicle and charge it up, let it sit overnight, and then I'll go back and I'll test it with this and see if it's still holding the charge. The reason why I do this is because when I first started out, I had a vehicle that I was actually working at Advanced Auto Parts, and we were changing batteries, and I went to go grab a battery off the shelf just like you would, just replace it for the customer. Guess what? The minute I put it into the car, and you see a little bit of shock, a little bit of sparks when you go to change batteries every so often anyway. Didn't think nothing of it. That vehicle starter was still engaged, but not turning the engine over. So, and it was a complete big short, and not even by the time I could go and go into the car and start the car, it killed the battery instantly. And this was on a Ford Fusion. I think it was like a 2009 model, okay? I said, okay, well, maybe it's just like a bad battery off the shelf. Not thinking nothing of it. I go grab another battery off the shelf, put it in the car. Same thing happened. Battery's dead. So I went out and I said, let me get the battery checker again. I want to check the battery before I put it in the car. Guess what? Battery was showing good. Good voltage and everything. It was like a 12.6, 12.7 volt. And coil cranking amperage was matched to the label. It was like 750 coil cranking amps. Put it in the car, go back around, try and start it, dead. Go back out and check the battery again with the battery tester. Guess what? Battery's dead. That's how quick it drew. It had a major electrical issue in that car. And I said, ma'am, you're going to have to take this thing. You're going to have to go take it to the dealership. You're going to have to fix it because it's not your battery. So that's why I take the battery out of the vehicle, charge it up, and let it sit there overnight to make sure it's going to hold that charge. That way it'll determine whether or not I have a bad battery or if I have a voltage draw on the vehicle. So that's a very important one, and that's a learn, not technically by mistake, but you're learning as you go. And that's a good one to know. But anyway, if you want me to do an individual video on any of these things, I can. It's no big deal. Like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below if there's any other things that you want me to cover, and we'll get to it, okay? Thanks, guys, for watching. Catch you on the next video.